Hello guys, welcome to MapMed textbooks. Now we're going to discuss about the comprehensive breast development and reconstruction of breast. Now moving on to the first part of it is the embryonic breast development. Embryonic breast development. The first part is the formation of the mammary ridges. Formation of the mammary ridges. And the first part of formation of mammary ridges is the how it happens. It happens around 5th to 6th week of gestation. It is also known as milk lines. Milk lines appear as two ventral buds of thickened ectoderm. So pay attention to the picture over here. This is used for your memorization. So how to remember this point? Use this picture. In week 5 to 6 week of gestation, imagine W shape. The first mammary ridge formation happens, and the milk lines, they glowing parallel lines. They are glowing parallel lines. They are ventral bands of thickened endometrium. They are ventral bands of thickened endometrium. These two, as you can see, these two. Right. The next part is these extend from axilla to groin. These extend from axilla to groin. In using this picture, these extend from axilla to groin. So you can, this is just a memory hook for you. You can read this, but I'll be explaining the lesson. Otherwise, it will damage the flow of the lesson. This is how I try to remember it. Imagine a vine stretching from your armpit to axilla to your groin, symbolizing a long connection. Now, what's the first point? Around 5 to 6 weeks of gestation, this picture extends from axilla to inguinal region. Those milk lines extend from axilla to inguinal region, this picture. Next one. The mammary ridges are the foundation of breast tissue development. In most cases, the mammary ridge involutes along its length, except at the thoracic region where breast tissue develops. Now, how to remember this? Imagine a clothesline stretching from your armpit to groin. Armpit to groin. The path of the mammary ridge, that's the path of the milk line. Most of the clothes represent the ridge are folded away, involuted. See, most of those are empty, but in the middle of the chest, that's why you have the t-shirt with the breast on it. One large shirt representing the breast tissue remains unfolded and visible. Now the 3 points to remember about the milk lines. Happens around 5 to 6 weeks of the gestation. Extend from axilla to inguinal region. They are the foundation of the breast tissue development, and most of it involutes. Right. Now the second part is the development of thoracic mammary bud. Development of thoracic mammary bud. By day 49, thoracic mammary bud forms through ectodermal invagination. By day 49, the thoracic mammary bud forms through ectodermal invagination. Right, how to remember this part? On day 49, the thoracic mammary bud. Imagine 49 coins arranged in line. Although it's not properly represented here, it is supposed to be like this. However, you get the point. There are 49 coins. That's day 49. The coins represented the days past, while the flower bud over here symbolizes the mammary bud formation. Picture the flower sinking into the skin representing ectodermal invagination. Picture the flower sinking into the skin, representing ectodermal invagination. Right. So by day 49, thoracic memory bud forms through ectodermal invagination. The remaining memory line regress, focusing development in the thoracic region where the future breast will form. How to remember that point? The memory line regression, imagine a dotted line right here, running down on the body, representing the memory line. Most of the dots fade away, except for a large bright dot at the chest. That's the thoracic region. Large bright dot at the chest. So the bright dot glows, showing where the development is concentrated. There are 2 points regarding thoracic memory bud. Day 49, you can remember how 49 coins. Thoracic memory bud forms. How? Through ectodermal invagination. The remaining memory lines regress, focusing development in the thoracic region. How to remember that? You remember the memory line, most of it disappears, but this one stays. That's the bright light which stays. Okay, those 2 points we have discussed. What's the first one? Formation of memory ridge or the milk line, and the development of thoracic memory bud. The next part is the branching of the memory bud. The thoracic ectodermal invagination produce 15 to 20 solid buds that will branch into lactiferous ducts and associated lobes. The thoracic ectodermal invagination produce 15 to 20 solid buds. They will branch into what? Lactiferous ducts and associated lobes. Right. What's the key point to remember here? Remember this picture. Thoracic ectodermal invaginations. Imagine tiny hollow thimbles pushing inward on flat chest surface. These invaginations forms 15 to 20 solid buds. So those are 15 to 20 budding flowers. 15 to 20 small budding flowers. The buds will branch into lactiferous ducts. Visualize milk streams flowing through the branches of these flowers, connecting the milk-filled ducts. You can see milk flowing outside from these ducts. So that point you can remember clearly, right? Thoracic ectodermal invagination produce 15 to 20 solid buds. They will become the lactiferous ducts and associated lobes. That's the flowers, and the milk comes out of it. Then the second point of the branching, these ducts develop with somatopleuric mesenchyme. The connective tissue that forms fat, blood vessels and nerves. The connective tissue which forms fat, blood vessels and nerves. Now, how to remember that? Lactiferous ducts. Picture milk rivers flowing through a garden. These ducts develop in somatopleuric mesenchyme. So this garden soil has a rich, nourishing connective tissue. This garden soil has rich, nourishing connective tissue. The mesenchyme forms fat, blood vessels and nerves. Imagine flow representing fat. Streams and roots symbolizing blood vessels. All connecting the milk rivers. Right. There are 2 points that you have to remember regarding the memory buds. There are 15 to 20 solid buds, which becomes the lactiferous ducts and the lobes. The ducts develop within the somatopleuric mesenchyme. Somatopleuric mesenchyme is the one which forms the fat, blood vessels and nerves. Nerves, blood vessels, the garden is the milk river. That's the somatopleuric mesenchyme. Now, what's the mesenchyme's role in breast development? The somatopleuric mesenchyme supports developing breast structure, forms connective tissue, providing structural integrity, creates fatty tissue for insulation and shape, enables vascular growth, allows invasion of mammary nerves, all are represented here. Connective tissue, fat, blood vessels, and the lighting sign representing the nerves. All right, now the nipple formation. It begins at day 56. When the epidermis starts forming the nipple structure. How to remember this point? This is the picture that you have to follow. 56, that's day 56. 56 looks like two circular shapes next to each other, representing the nipple. Picture 56 as two raised bumps on the surface, symbolizing the formation of the nipple on the epidermis. Imagine the calendar. This is the calendar. One of the boxes in the calendar. Flipping day 56. Right. To the next point. By day 84th day, primitive ducts, those are mammary sprouts, begin to form. How to remember that? This is also a calendar date. You can see there are sprouts coming out. Sprouts. What are those? Primitive ducts. Now, the next point. The canalization, the process forming hollow ducts occurs by day 150. How to remember it? This is day 150. Picture 1 as a straight hollow duct forming. This is hollow duct. That's how you represent the canalization. 5 looks like a curved duct and 0 represents the round opening. That's the canalization of day 150. Next, the epidermis creates a small mammary pit at the invagination site where future lactiferous ducts will open. How to remember this point? Picture the epidermis as a smooth surface with small pit forming in the center, symbolizing the mammary pit. It's a tiny dip or indentation where the future lactiferous ducts will eventually open from inside. Think of it as a small hole in the skin surface. Now, regarding nipple formation, what did we discuss? Happens on day number 56. On that day number 84, the sprouts formed. On day number 150, there was canalization. And there was the mammary pit formation. Now, the next part. The perinatal nipple formation and the variance. Right. What's the first part? At birth, breast development in both sexes appears similar. How do we know that? Look at this picture. They are the same starting point. In males and females, it's the same. You just have to remember this picture. In males and females, it's just the same. But under the influence of fetal prolactin and maternal estrogen, breast tissue can transiently enlarge, sometimes producing vicious milk. It's a temporary secretion. So from fetal prolactin and maternal estrogen, those two will cause milk formation, but it is temporary. Now, using this picture, we'll try to remember the child is drinking from the prolactin and estrogen milk bottle. Now, because of that, they will have the breast will have swelling, and there's milk droplets coming out. That is just temporary. That's why there's only one droplet there. Now, next one. The failure of nipple formation results in duct opening into shallow pits. Failure of nipple formation, nipple doesn't form, it will open into a shallow pit. Now look at this picture. This is a shallow pit. Visualize duct as a small tubes opening onto shallow pits instead of protruding nipples. Picture the shallow pit as a small dip in the skin surface where the ducts end, symbolizing the failure of nipple formation. The ducts trying to reach the surface, but instead of forming a nipple, they open into a flat, shallow pit. Now, the next one, in rare cases, nipple may not develop at all. A condition called athelia. How to remember? Look at this picture. Athelia is visualize a blank, smooth surface where nipple should be. Over here, you can see the cross, right? Nipple should be, but it's not there. Alright, it's not there. So, athelia is absence of nipple. Right, what are the parts about perinatal nipple formation that we should know? At birth, in both sexes, nipple is similar. From fetal prolactin and maternal estrogen, breast tissue enlarges and give you vicious milk. Next one, failure of nipple formation. There is a shallow pit. In rare cases, there can be athelia. Then, the postnatal and postpubertal breast development. Regarding the male breast development, after birth, male breast tissue remains underdeveloped with no further growth unless hormonal imbalances happen. Look at this picture. This is a flat chest. There's no breast tissue. They are underdeveloped unless there's gynecomastia. That happens when there's hormonal imbalance. That's the crossed out plant. Right, that's about the males. Then the females. The female breast remains rudimentary until puberty, where the influence of estrogen and progesterone and prolactin, estrogen, progesterone and EPP and prolactin causes significant growth. How to remember this? Estrogen, prolactin and progesterone. Estrogen as the milk jug, progesterone as the flower blossoming, and the prolactin as the baby bottle. All three would cause significant growth of the breast. The next one, regarding females. During puberty, ducts elongate and branch into terminal ductal lobular units, TDLU, terminal ductal lobular units. Look at this picture that we have given here. Picture a tree trunk growing taller, symbolizing the ducts stretching out. The branching, imaging branches spreading out from the trunk, representing the ducts forming new branches. The TDLU, think of clusters of leaves at the ends of the branches, symbolizing the lobular units forming the tips of the ducts. And during puberty, there's increase of adipose tissue, which gives the round shape. There's layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of adipose tissue. Right. What's the next part? Breast changes during pregnancy. Pregnancy induces full maturation of the alveoli. Under the influence of the estrogen, progesterone and prolactin. And what else? Human placental lactogen. That's the new one which comes from the pregnancy. So the picture to remember it. Alveoli maturation, estrogen and progesterone, and prolactin and human placental lactogen. Think of a tiny pump attached to the milk flow, symbolizing the hormonal influence. So there's estrogen, there is progesterone, there is prolactin and human placental lactogen forming milk. Right. Then moving on. After birth, prolactin stimulates milk production, while oxytocin triggers milk ejection. Prolactin production, oxytocin ejection. Now, how to remember this picture? Prolactin, visualize a tap starting to flow milk. It stimulates the milk production. Let me show you the picture clearly. See, the prolactin stimulates the milk production. Oxytocin causes milk ejection. Right. Then the last part, postmenopausal breast changes. What is it? After menopause, glandular tissue elements undergo involution and the breast becomes predominantly fatty. Those are the parts that you have to remember regarding the related changes with the development. So what's the first one? Male breast. Unless there's hormonal imbalance, there won't be other growth of the male breast. Female breast during puberty from estrogen, progesterone and prolactin causes the female breast grow. Then TDLU growth and the fat deposition happens in puberty. In pregnancy, alveoli maturation happens with estrogen, progesterone and prolactin. Oxytocin will cause the milk production. Oxytocin will be caused by prolactin, milk ejection by oxytocin. In postmenopausal women, there will be fatty changes. Excellent. Now, to the next point, the developmental anomalies of the breast. Regarding the developmental anomalies, we'll discuss in the next video. Thank you for seeing this video. If you haven't subscribed the channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much.